Why are so many hotels going back to the basics? Riots continue in the UK. We'll get to the story. It was an excellent trip. A document-free airport. Debby has been downgraded. Stay tuned to find out more about these stories, bringing you the top headlines from around the world now. But first, BTTravel News. I'm Kathleen, and this is your World Travel Information Channel, giving you the information to help you make informed decisions so your adventures are the safest and best they can be. We also share insights into new and innovative ways to travel around the world. Now, on to the first headline. WTTC, or World Travel and Tourism Council, proudly announces the new milestone with over 5,000 properties across 80 plus countries who are now embracing its Hotel Sustainability Basics program. This initiative, supported by leading hotel brands and international tourism bodies, is transforming the industry across Europe, Africa, the Americas, and Asia Pacific. Julia Simpson, WTTC's president and CEO, remarked, quote, "Passing 5,000 verified properties is more than just a milestone. It demonstrates travel and tourism's readiness to embrace sustainability globally," unquote. The program, overseen by esteemed assessors Green Key and SGS, offers a 12-step criteria to guide hotels of all sizes towards sustainability, focusing on carbon emissions, energy, water, and waste management. As this initiative expands globally, new partnerships emerge in Japan, Philippines, and India, further solidifying its impact. Supported by Travel and Leisure, Basics is now accessible in multiple languages, ensuring its reach is as wide as it is impactful. This achievement marks a new era in hospitality as the world's top destinations, from the Caribbean to the UAE, join the movement towards a more sustainable and responsible future. Headline 2. Nations across the globe, including Nigeria, Australia, and Indonesia, have issued travel advisories for the UK, citing severe riots that have erupted following tragic events in Stockport, Northwest England. The unrest, fueled by misinformation from anti-immigrant groups, has led to violent clashes and targeted attacks on asylum seekers. Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has urged citizens to stay vigilant amidst the volatility, particularly in crowded spaces. Kenya and Indonesia have echoed similar warnings, advising their nationals to exercise caution and avoid protest areas. This wave of international concern highlights the heightened risk for travelers and expatriates in the UK as the situation remains unpredictable. Staying informed through official channels is highly recommended for anyone in the region. Thousands of anti-racism demonstrators took to the streets across the UK, standing strong against far-right rallies that aimed to target immigration centers. Their presence seemed to diffuse what many feared would be another day of violent unrest. After days of chaos fueled by misinformation surrounding a deadly stabbing, police were on high alert for another night of turmoil on late Wednesday. Far-right groups had called for protests over 100 sites nationwide, with a focus on visa centers and immigration offices. But by early evening, thousands of counter-protesters had gathered in more than a dozen cities, determined to protect these locations from far-right attacks. Quote, "There are many, many more of us than you," unquote, chanted the crowds, backed by a visibly stronger police force. In Rotham, far-right rioters have set fire to a hotel housing asylum seekers, and other cities saw similar clashes. If you are in these areas, exercise extreme caution. If you have plans to travel to these areas, follow all government guidelines before entering. Taking us to headline 3. Imagine breezing through an airport without even pulling out your passport, ID, or ticket. By 2025, this could be a reality at Abu Dhabi's Zayed International Airport. Known for its cutting-edge infrastructure, recently praised by Elon Musk with the words, quote, "US needs to catch up," unquote. This airport is about to revolutionize travel with its Smart Travel project. The initiative will install biometric sensors at every identification checkpoint, from check-in to boarding, allowing passengers to move seamlessly using facial and iris recognition. Quote, "We're expanding to 9 touch points, and this would be a world first," unquote, says Andrew Murphy, Chief Information Officer at Abu Dhabi Airport. Quote, "Passengers are automatically recognized and authenticated as they move through the airport, significantly speeding up the entire process," unquote. Already in use on certain Etihad flights, this tech is set to expand across the entire passenger experience, tapping into a national database to verify identities. For those who prefer a traditional experience, there is no need to worry. Murphy assures that passengers can still opt for the classic method of verification, particularly those who might not be comfortable with the technology. International airports are also catching up, with places like Singapore, Shanghai, and Tokyo's Narita implementing similar biometric systems. European and American airports are making strides too, with trials and new implementations paving the way for a future where paperless travel becomes the norm. As Abu Dhabi leads the charge, the global standard for seamless document-free travel is being set, offering a glimpse into the future of luxury air travel. Headline 4. Debby was downgraded to a tropical depression Thursday, wreaking havoc from Florida to Virginia. Debby has moved inland and is now a tropical depression, but dangerous flooding and tornadoes remain a concern. Here's what to expect. The projected path at this time is for the storm to head into Virginia Beach and then on to Richmond and into DC through Friday. Debby dumped more than 19 inches of rain across parts of the southeast and spawned several tornadoes as the storm moved through these areas. At least 7 people were killed in the storm's path. Emergencies were declared in several communities. Evacuations were issued for some areas, and hundreds of thousands are left without electricity. Let's pray for those who have weathered the worst of the storm and now must face the heartbreak of the aftermath. In light of this most recent storm destruction, Weather.com has come up with a list of travel spots you should probably avoid during hurricane season in the Atlantic Basin, which is August, September, and October. And they say always invest in travel insurance. The top areas they say to avoid are the Western Caribbean, Jamaica, Caymans, Cancun, and the Gulf Coast. Headline 5. Okay, I could just not pass this one up. These eggs will take you around the world on the best Easter egg hunt of your life. Leave it to the Swedes to think this one up. A giant egg made of golden solar panels is what else? A sauna. Outside of Stockholm, Sweden, you will find the world's only solar egg, standing 15 feet tall. In the middle of a field of snow, it reflects the white expanse on 69 golden panes of glass. I think even Veruca Salt would approve of this one. The egg's interior is a piping hot sauna where visitors can bask in the heat. It sits up to 8 people and is heated by a wood-burning human heart-shaped stove in the center, and it reaches 167 to 185 degrees Fahrenheit. But if you plan to go on this Easter egg hunt, make sure you check its location first. It's known to move around. All right, hop, skip, and jump over to the neighboring Iceland. Travel along the scenic road by Djúpivogur Bay, and you'll find nearly 3 dozen granite eggs, each resting on its concrete pedestal. Known as the eggs of Mary Bay, these stunning sculptures pay homage to the native birds of eastern Iceland. Crafted in 2009 by Iceland artist Sigurdur Gudmundsson. I'll put that name in the notes. These 34 grand eggs represent the 34 bird species that nest in the region. Each stone egg is meticulously shaped and colored to reflect its real-life counterpart. While the eggs are similar in size, one stands out: the larger sculpture dedicated to the red-throated diver. the area's official bird. Each egg is accompanied with a plaque displaying the name of the bird in Latin and Icelandic, turning this beautiful art installation into an engaging science and language lesson. Over the hills, Hilversum, Netherlands, you will find an egg crafted from an astonishing 41,900 mosaic pieces. This is the world's largest mosaic egg, weighing in at nearly 4,000 pounds. That's 1,800 kilos. In the Netherlands, in Hilversum, you will find this 11.5 feet tall marvel of an egg. This impressive work of art was created by Marja van Workel over 2 years in the making and is a must-see. Visitors can admire this grand mosaic egg along with other captivating sculptures on the weekends during daylight hours. Heading south to Spain, we find the Dali Theater. From the outside, the Dali Theater and Museum resembles a whimsical castle topped with breakfast food. Giant eggs are perched atop parapets, with loaves of bread adorning the walls and eerie statues guarding the premises. But this architectural wonder is more than just a quirky facade. It houses the world's largest collection of Salvador Dali's masterpieces and stands as a monumental work of art in its own right. Conceived and designed by Dali himself, it opened in 1979, where there are immersive visitor experiences like dreamlike creations. Enter through a doorway painted with distorted giant mouths and stroll through corridors featuring bizarre attractions such as a car filled with plants and snails that reigns inside. Pro tip here, it's activated by a hidden coin slot. And the room where furniture is cleverly arranged to form Mae West's face when viewed from a specific angle. The exterior is just as mesmerizing as the inside, and the massive eggs adorning the main wall and large geodesic dome rising above them. All right, heading over to the USA, Los Angeles. The city is not famous for a collection of granite eggs with human faces, but it sure is interesting. Nestled in the Cypress Park neighborhood, at a roundabout where Riverside Drive meets San Fernando Road, lies a distinctly European-like traffic feature. It is an art installation created by the design studio Green Mem in 2017. The Riverside Roundabout offers a striking display of massive granite egg sculptures, each celebrating the local community and natural flora. These 9 stone eggs, which seem as if they've been meticulously 3D printed by a master stonecutter, are composed of sharply geometric stacked slices. But the real magic is inside each egg. A face sculpted from a real member of the community was chosen randomly from hundreds of applicants. Encircling the entire installation is a rigid granite ring that, when viewed from above, reveals yet another face, stretched and distorted into a circular form. All right, let's head up the coast to Winlock, Washington, and you will find their crown jewel. It's a giant egg that has stood the test of time, evolving through various forms over nearly a century. Originally crafted in the 1920s to honor the town's thriving egg industry, the Winlock egg was a canvas creation draped over a wooden frame, proudly paraded on a float before finding a permanent spot and covered in plaster. But as with all things fragile, the first egg didn't last. By the 1940s, it was replaced by a plastic version. And like a creature in metamorphosis, it underwent another transformation in the 60s with a fiberglass model, though this one was criticized for looking a bit too much like a football. The current and final cement edition was unveiled in 1991, recognized as the world's largest egg by Ripley's Believe It or Not in 1989. The Winlock egg has become a cherished local landmark. It was even painted in patriotic red, white, and blue hues after 9/11, serving as the town's unofficial tribute to the tragedy. Today, it's been restored to its classic white, continuing to be an extraordinary roadside attraction. Dorothy herself would want you to stop when you get to Wilson, Kansas. Tucked away in the charming Czech community of Wilson is home to the world's largest Czech egg. Standing a majestic 20 feet tall, this stunning creation is adorned in the vibrant and intricate patterns iconic to the Central Eastern Europe, showcasing a traditional Czech design. Commissioned by the city of Wilson to honor its rich heritage, this impressive egg was brought to life by local artist Christine Slecha, a master kraslice, the delicate art of Czech and Slovak egg decorating. With help from the community, every detail of the egg and its surrounding gazebo was crafted locally in Kansas. The masterpiece is a heartfelt tribute from Kansas's Czech community to the world. Travelers passing by on I-70 are invited to take a break and enjoy the egg's shaded gazebo. While you're there, Wilson Lake, just a few miles away, offers the clearest waters and some of Kansas's most scenic views. And for an authentic taste of local culture, the community hosts an annual Czech heritage celebration every July, turning this small town into a lively hub of tradition and festivity. Pro tip here, the best way to reach the egg is to take I-70 to exit 206. From there, head south into the town of Wilson, Kansas. After going over the tracks, head west onto Old Highway 40. You can't miss this behemoth egg. Let's roll on over to Mentone, Indiana. Perched elegantly on its tapered end, the Mentone egg stands as a unique monument celebrating the town's rich legacy of egg production, while also claiming the title of the world's largest egg. Situated at the edge of town, this massive cement egg was crafted in 1946 by local tradesmen to promote the egg show. A hefty 3,000 pounds later, it was painted white with the slogan, quote, Mentone, the egg basket of the Midwest, unquote. It proudly embraces its quirky identity. After its initial debut, the egg was moved to its current spot at the intersection of Main and Morgan Streets. Mentone's obsession with all things egg extends to an annual egg festival, but the concrete monument remains in the town's crowning jewel. Headline 6. How powerful is your passport? According to the Henley Passport Index, has ascended to the pinnacle of the 2024 Henley Passport Index, which was unveiled on Wednesday this week. This prestigious ranking now grants Singaporean citizens visa-free access to an impressive 195 countries. This shift is particularly noteworthy as it dethrones Japan, which had previously held the top spot. Japan now ranks second, offering visa-free entry to 192 countries, with South Korea closely following in a third place, providing access to 191 countries. The reshuffling underscores the continued dominance of Asian passports in the Henley Passport Index, a measure of passport power based on the number of destinations accessible without a prior visa. Compiled by Henley and Partners, a global citizenship and residence advisory firm, the index leverages data from the International Airport Association, or IATA. Unfortunately for the US, the news isn't as glamorous. With visa-free access to only 186 countries, the US passport has slipped to 8th place, down from last year. This drop positions the US behind Canada, the UK, and several European nations, highlighting a relative decline in global mobility. In a dramatic rise, the United Arab Emirates has climbed from 15th to a coveted spot in the top 10, now offering visa-free access to 185 countries. This leap reflects the UAE's strategic diplomatic initiatives and growing international relations. As an earlier report by Skift highlighted, quote, free visa policies play a crucial role in promoting tourism, unquote. China, too, has made strides in the passport rankings, moving up from 66th place in 2023 to 59th, with visa-free access to 85 countries. This improvement is in line with China's recent efforts to ease visa procedures and establish mutual visa waiverment agreements. The first half of this year saw 14.64 million foreign visitors to China. That's a 152% increase year on year, according to the National Immigration Administration. China's push for easier travel is clearly paying off. India has also seen a modest rise, moving up 2 spots to 82nd place, signaling a gradual improvement in international travel accessibility. Thailand, not to be outdone, has climbed from 68th place to 60th place. The country has expanded its visa policies, increasing the number of nations eligible for visa-free entry from 57 to 93. And according to the Henley Passport Index, here are the top 10 countries that allow the most visa-free entries.